Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Friday. Awesome. Hope you've had a great week. Today's devotion continues along the theme that we've been talking about. We've been considering the Lord's Prayer at the request of the disciples. Jesus is teaching these guys how to pray. I hope we're learning a few things already. We've been talking about our Father who art in heaven. So important, guys, that you have the right perspective of who God is, because your entire Christian experience is going to relate to what your concept of God is. So make sure that you have the right concept of God as a Father who art in heaven. We started yesterday just a short thing about heaven and the wonder of the inheritance that will be ours, and the fact that this world is not home, although we try to make heaven on earth. Don't try and do that. Heaven is there where home is, and home is where the Father is. That was yesterday's thing. Today I want to continue talking about this amazing thing and this amazing place called heaven. I saw a documentary a little while back. Sorry about that. I saw a little documentary a little while back on penguins in the North Pole. These penguins in the North Pole had an amazing thing. All these little fluffy little chicks, and thousands of them. They all looked absolutely identical. And then the mother of that chick would come to feed the little guy, and she would know which child was hers. And she could recognize the cry amongst thousands and thousands of chicks, which was hers. And I'm thinking, how on earth was she able to do that? How on earth could she distinguish her cry of her child amongst the cry of thousands of others of chicks who all looked absolutely identical? Isn't that incredible? And yet, in a greater, even greater picture than that, is the picture of what is personified and pictured for us in the book of Revelation. I want to read to you a small passage right now. In the book of Revelation, John, in his vision, he sees heaven as a very noisy place. The angels are singing, "Worthy is the Lamb." The creatures are crying out, "Holy, holy, holy." And the souls of the martyrs are crying out, "How long?" The 144,000 are shouting, "Salvation belongs to our God." There's thunder, there's lightning, there's creatures, there's proclamations, there's declarations. There's a lot of noise going on in heaven. And then all of a sudden, it says us that there was silence in heaven for half an hour. Well, there obviously weren't any women in heaven because there was silence. No, sorry, ladies, I didn't mean that. And I'm sure there's going to be women in heaven, lots of them. But there was silence in heaven for half an hour. And you say, well, why was there silence in heaven? Let me tell you why. Because somebody was praying. It was almost as if God was saying, shh, everybody, quiet, everybody. There's somebody out there praying. And you have this picture of the prayers of the saints, like the incense that was being burnt, being raised up and going up to God in the most beautiful, savory smell. This beautiful smell to the nostrils of God. It was as if in the midst of all that thunder and the lightning and the proclamations declaring all the noise of heaven, God smiles and says, "Hey people, let's be quiet for a little while to listen to the prayer of the saints." They are praying, "Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." And the saints, the prayer of the saints, stopped all the activity of heaven when God heard the prayer of his people. Just like that mom responded, that little penguin responded to that amidst the throngs of many other little penguins all crying out for food at the same time. That mom recognized the cry of her particular little chick. When you pray, God silences everything so he can listen to what you're saying. Think about that. That's awesome. Now, the prayer, "Our Father who art in heaven," is probably one of the most well-sung songs, or commonly sung songs in the world today. There are so many different versions of this beautiful song. Well, for me, nobody sings it better than our own Lizanne. So I want to ask you to sit back and listen and just reflect on the beauty of our Father who art in heaven. And we'll pick it up again next week. Guys, have a fantastic week. See if you can find your way to church. I know we're only allowed 50 people, but book online. It'll be a lot of fun. And have a great weekend. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive them who trespass against